I can't believe that we are now in November, which is absolutely insane. Like, when did that happen? But it is November 1st, which means it is Pan That Palette update time. So I have two palettes that I'm going to update you with today. So I have what is left of my Modern Renaissance. This is Clinging for dear life. Look at her. She looks like she's been through the wars, because she has. I've been panning this for 2 years now. This was my Pan That palette at the start of 2023. I went all the way through 2023 and now all the way through 2024 with this guy. Oh my gosh, yep, I know, commitment. And then I have my kind of official 2025 Pan That palette, which I decided to roll in early. I will talk more about that if you did miss that. But I've got a pretty good update to share with you today. But just before we do jump into the video, if you have not already, definitely like and subscribe, because I feel like next month is gonna be a pretty damn good month, and I'm going to talk all about that, so you do not want to miss that. Turn on notifications so you don't miss an upload. I upload every single day here on my channel. I love project panning and bright, fun, colourful makeup, so if that sounds like a good time to you, then definitely stick around. So as always, I'm going to start with Modern Renaissance because it is the oldest one, and I'm not going to lie, the progress on this month hasn't been great. I have decided that I'm going to be doing a November challenge, and this was inspired by SheRo. I'm going to be doing my face every single day in November, so definitely stay tuned because these projects are going to be incredible. But this is what this palette looked like last month. If you're new, you're going to be like, oh my god, wow, yes, I have got nothing left, pretty much. I am so proud of my progress on this palette. I have been panning it for, as I said, nearly 2 years now, and I do regret that decision. I don't think you should pan a palette for more than 1 year because I am so burnt out with this. It is unbelievable. And this is what it looks like today. I do have a little bit of a Realgar Franken left, but the red ochre shade is now in a blush. I don't know if that was done before I took progress pictures last time, but one shade left. I can't quite remember when I Frankened this palette, but red ochre and love letter were in these pans either last month or a little bit over last month, and they are now in a Franken blush, so they are gone. I'm going to be using them up next year. I'm going to give myself a break, and then next year I'm going to work on those two shades. So now I just have this. This is it. This is the only shade left, and this is Realgar mixed with a few blues and a few cool tone taupes, just because originally this was a very, very vibrant orange shade, and that is not really my jam, so I kind of cooled it down and turned it into a little bit more of an everyday shade. Now I just realized my notebook is down there. So 1 second. So the update for this palette is going to be very short and sweet. There is one shade to talk about. I've used this 7 times this month for a total of 169 uses in this project. Wow. Last month, this palette weighed 178.05 grams, and this month it weighs 177.17 grams, meaning in the past month we have lost 0.88 grams. Of course, not all of that is natural use because 2 shades have been frankened out, but I think that's still really, really good. 1 shade left. I'm determined I'm going to hit pan in this over the next month. With that everyday makeup challenge, I want to use this every single time I go into the office this month, so I will at least hit pan on this. I have been doing a few looks that I've really, really liked with this shade. It's like a kind of everyday casual date kind of look. I am going out, I'm kind of dating again now, and this is just perfect for that. I wouldn't really go on a first date looking like this, so this is like my safe, nice first date eyeshadow. So yeah, I'm going to be using this a lot, I can already tell, and I'm really, really happy now that it's not a bright orange because that was way too much. So I'm just going to keep going with this. Hopefully next month I can have incredible progress, and no matter what happens, by December, the end of December, this is going to be gone. This is now my absolute focus shade. I am going to be going all out on this. I am going to make sure this is gone by the end of the year because this palette is not coming into 2025 with me. I forbid it. It is not happening. So now is the time. I'm going to be using this pretty much every single day. My November challenge starts now. This is going to be gone by December. Mark my words. So let's move on to That's Taupe. This was rolled in not too long ago, only maybe 2 months ago now. I think this is my second month with this. And what I was doing before is I had this palette and I was rolling in a companion palette every month because I just needed a distraction. This really started to get me. I was feeling really burnt out with this, and that is why I say I would not recommend panning a palette for more than a year. Give yourself some time to refresh because I made really good progress on this in 2023, and then 2024 for this just hasn't been very good, and it's because of that burnout. But I decided 2 months ago to roll in a brand new, technically 2025 Pan That palette, which is That's Taupe, to kind of give me a bit of a distraction. So this is what this palette looked like last month. It had only had 1 month of use in it, but I was really happy with this progress. I have really fallen in love with this palette. I think it is the perfect everyday palette for me. I have absolutely loved all of these super cool tones, especially because the Modern Renaissance is very, very warm tone. This is what it looks like today. No pans yet, but I'm really hoping you're going to be able to see some progress. I think the final shade, Bedrock, is definitely showing some good progress, and also a few of the other shades have definitely got some brush strokes in there, and I'm really happy with this progress. So last month I did say that I wanted to hit pan in this shade here, which is called Pebble Beach. I didn't get around to using it really at all, just because I was kind of focused on this shade. I feel like they're very similar kind of shades. So until the Realgar shade from Modern Renaissance is done, I'm not going to be focusing on Pebble Beach. That's something that I've kind of discovered over the past month. So let's talk about usage. First, I'm going to talk about Boa, which is a lid setting shade. I've used this a lot, and something I've learned about this palette, which is very strange. The shade Pebble Beach, as I said, is super, super lightly pressed. Everything else is really firmly pressed. So I don't know how that works, but it is what it is. I've used this 15 times this month for a total of 28 uses in the project, and it barely looks used. It has a few brush strokes in it, but that's pretty much it. So I think that's going to be a really difficult shade to pan. Pebble Beach I've used 2 times for a total of 4 uses. Like I said, I'm not going to be using it while Realgar is still alive and kicking. The shade Python I have not used this month for a total of 0 uses in the project. I've not used that at all. Next is Slated, which I love this shade. This is so high shine and beautiful. I've used this 3 times this month for a total of 6 uses. The next shade, Snake Eyes, I've used this 2 times this month for a total of 8 uses. Cold-Blooded I have not used either month, so still 0 uses. The shade Rocksteady I have used 2 times for a total of 4 uses. The shade Constrictor I have not used either months, so still 0 uses. And then the shade Bedrock I have used 10 times for a total of 21 uses. So a few thoughts. The shades Constrictor and Cold-Blooded I still have not used at all, as well as Python actually. So they're the shades that are struggling right now. I did say when I rolled this in originally that the shade Constrictor and Cold-Blooded, they're very, very dark shimmers, and I'm not really a dark shimmer person, so if I don't use these 2 shades, I'm okay. I'm not that fussed, it's fine. I understand that they're not really my preference. If I get to the end of 2025 and this whole palette is done and then these 2 have not been touched, that's fine. I'm probably just going to declutter them and move on. I really do like this palette now. I know that the usage weren't that high. However, again, with this November challenge, I think this is going to be a really good month for this. So this has lost a fair bit of weight, which is more than I actually thought it would. So last month this weighed 92.94 grams, and this month it weighs 92.78 grams, meaning I have lost 0.16 grams. So there we go. That is this palette. Not a whole lot of use. However, I'm still quite happy with how it looks and how it performs and all that kind of stuff. I think I have just been like out of habit of doing my makeup recently. I've really not been doing my makeup that much. So that is another reason why I've decided to do this November challenge, not just for project panning, but also just to like get in the habit of doing my face again. I used to do my face every single day. And I don't know, since everything kind of happened, my life has just been crazy. I've really not been doing it that much. And so I want to get back in the habit. I want to get doing it again. And I know that next month is going to be an amazing month for these because I'm going to be reaching for them all the time. As I said, Realgar is going to be my absolute #1 focus shade. That goes for every project. It is above everything right now. This is main priority. I will have this done by the end of the year. And then I can fully focus on this. I find it's a little bit hard to focus on, especially the transition shades in this palette when Realgar is still with it, because I feel bad. This is my priority, so these shades are going to be a little bit more neglected, but that's okay. I'm sure in a few months when Realgar is done, then this is really going to shine. So what do you think? I'm really excited for the future of this project. I feel like I've got that motivation back again. How are you doing on your project pans? Let me know down below in the comments. But with that being said, this is where I'm going to love you and leave you today, guys. I hope you have an incredible day. Like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Bye bye.